Okay, so today we're going to talk about angles, and that's section 1.4. And again, the first thing that we're going to do is define what an angle is. An angle is two rays that meet at a vertex. An angle can be named using 3 letters with the vertex in the middle, or it can be named by using a number. So this is angle ABC, or it could also be called angle number 1. So in example number 1, it says, what other ways could you name angle 1? Again, the vertex point here is M, so no matter what, the M has to go in the middle. So I could call that angle JMK, or if I reverse those 2 letters, I could also name it angle KMJ. But again, notice that M, that vertex point, has to be in the middle. For number 2, how else could you name KML? If you have trouble with the 3 letters and determining which angle that they're talking about, you can always trace the angles from the letters that they give you. So go to K, trace down to M, and then over to L. So that gives you that angle right there. So that could also be angle 2. Okay, angle addition postulate. If point T is on the interior of angle QRS, then angle QRT plus angle SRT has to equal angle QRS. Okay, so in other words, in the picture shown below, if I have the measure of QRT is 40 degrees and the measure of TRS is 83 degrees. If I take those 2 measures and add them together, it will give me a total of 123 degrees, which means the measure of angle QRS is 123 degrees. For number 3, if the measure of angle RQT is 155, what are the measures of angle RQS and the measure of angle TQS? So if I take those 2 angles and add them together, they're going to have to give me my total of 155. So I'll do 4x minus 20 plus 3x plus 14 equals 155. 4x and the 3x are on the same side of the equal sign, so we're just going to combine them. That will give me a 7x. And the negative 20 plus 14 is going to give me a negative 6. And that will equal my 155. The opposite of subtracting 6 is adding 6 to both sides. So when I do that, 155 plus 6 will give me an answer of 161. And then the opposite of multiplying by 7 is going to be to divide by 7. And x will give me an answer of 23. Again, the question did not ask me to find what x is. It asked me to find the measure of angle RQS and the measure of angle TQS. So let's find angle RQS first. RQS was the one that was represented by 4x minus 20. And again, we just found out that x was 23. So I'm going to do 4 times 23 minus 20. 4 times 23 would give me an answer of 92. And 92 minus 20 is going to give me an answer of, 72. Okay, so the measure of angle RQS is going to be 72. TQS, that was the one that was represented by 3x plus 14. So now we'll do 3 times 23 plus 14. 3 times 23 will give me an answer of 69. And 69 plus 14 should give me an answer of 83. And again, you can always double check your work. If you add 72 and 83 together, you'll get your total of 155 back. For number 4, angle DEF is a straight angle. What are the measures of angle DEC and the measure of angle CEF? So again, we learned back in, I think it was section 1, that a straight angle has 180 degrees in it. So if I take those two angles and add them together, they have to equal a total of 180. So we'll do 11x minus 12 plus 2x plus 10 equals 180. Again, on the left-hand side, I'm going to combine my like terms. My 11x and my 2x will give me 13x. And then a negative 12 plus 10 will give me a negative 2. And that will equal 180. The opposite of subtracting 2 is adding 2. So 13x is going to give me an answer of 182. And then when I divide both sides by 13, I should get an answer of x equals 14. Again, I'm not done because the question did not ask me to find out what x is. It asked me to find the measure of each angle. So let's go back and find each angle. And I'm going to find angle DEC first. DEC is the one that was represented by 11x minus 12. Again, we just found out that x was 14. So I'm going to do 11 times 14 minus 12. 11 times 14 should give me an answer of 154. And 154, sorry, that's a 12. 154 minus 12 will give you an answer of 142. So the measure of angle DEC is 142 degrees. And lastly, for our last angle here, we have angle CEF. And angle CEF was the one that was represented by 2x plus 10. And again, we just found out that x was 14. So I'm going to have 2 times 14 plus 10. 2 times 14 is 28. And 28 plus 10 will give me an answer of 38. And again, if I want to double check my work, if I take 142 and add 38, it will give me the 180 back. Okay, so vertical angles, vertical angle theorem. Vertical angles are congruent. So from the picture on the right-hand side, and you can see next to the picture, it tells you the two pairs of angles that are congruent. Angle B is congruent to angle D, and angle A is congruent to angle C. So for number 5, we want to find the measure of angle CFD. Again, if I want to trace the CFD so I know what angle they're talking about, it's that angle right there, and that happens to be vertical with the angle right across from it, that's 62 degrees. So the measure of angle CFD is going to be 62. Find the measure of angle AFB. AFB, let me change my colors of my pen here. AFB is this angle right here. And that angle is vertical with the one that is 118 degrees. So angle AFB, sorry, trying to write and do this at the same time. That's not vertical with this one right there. It's vertical with this entire angle right here. I apologize. Okay, so it's vertical to that entire angle right there. So if I want to find the measure of this angle that I'm going to call x, that entire angle now, if I take my x and add 28 to it, has to equal 118. So I'm going to have x plus 28 equals 118. And if you subtract 28 from both sides, you should get an answer of 90. So the measure of just that little piece of that angle right there then will be 90. In number 7, I have 2x plus 6 is going to be equal to 96 because, again, those are vertical angles and vertical angles are congruent. So we will set 2x plus 6 equal to 96. Again, the opposite of adding 6 will be to subtract 6. So 2x will equal 90. And then the opposite of multiplying by 2 is to divide by 2. And x will equal 45. Okay, again, this time I don't have to go plug that back in. It asked me to find the value of x. I found the value of x, and we're done with that one. Okay, so an angle bisector. Again, we think of the word bisector as the word cuts. So what happens is the angle bisector is going to cut that angle into two congruent angles. So we have AC bisects angle DAB, and if the measure of angle DAC equals 58, what is the measure of angle DAB? So first of all, I like to have a picture so I know what's going on. So I'm going to first draw angle DAB. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. We just want to have something visual to help us out here. So there's my angle DAB. So now AC is going to bisect that. Well, here's A. So if I want AC to bisect that, I'm just going to draw a ray that originates at A and goes out. So now the measure of angle, and that's C, the measure of angle DAC, this angle right here, is 58. And we want to know the measure of angle DAB. DAB is the entire angle. But again, if this is the bisector and this angle is 58, that means that one is also 58. So if I take those two angles and add them together, that's going to give me a total of 116.